Alright, so. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Oh no. So I've just been thinking a lot and reading a lot, and I think what I'm going to go do is I'm going to do a little bit of a read aloud here. I'm going to grab some papers and I'm going to start reading aloud to the camera. Because apparently, there's some people ready to get stuff done. So, here we go. I'm going to do that. Give me a second. Alright. Reading aloud this book for now, and let me see where it goes, shall we? So it's a book called Whatever Happened to Justice, and it's written by Richard Maybury. So I'm just going to be starting a little bit of a read aloud, and he advocates for something called juris naturalism, which I don't completely agree with myself, but I think self-evidently probably works the best, but I don't know for sure, because we haven't really tested this. So, author's disclosure. For reasons I do not understand, writers today are supposed to be objective. Few disclose the viewpoints or opinions they use to decide what information is important and what is not, or what shall be presented or omitted. I do not adhere to this standard, and make no pretense of being objective. I am biased in favor of liberty, free markets, and international neutrality, and proud of it. So I disclose my viewpoint, which you will find explained in detail in my other books. For those who have not yet read these publications, I call my viewpoint juris naturalism. Sometimes abbreviated JN, meaning the belief in a natural law that is higher than any government's law. Here are 6 quotes from America's founders that help to describe this viewpoint. I would say that this is the basis of a very American belief, which I've coined a term for it called scientific self-determination, or true possibilism, maybe. I don't know exactly. Maybe scientific possibilism, which basically is that there's such a thing as truth, but we don't know it yet, so to speak. And we're always incrementally going towards that, so to speak. I should be. Suppose we're not. Suppose we just live in denial and are very silly. At any rate, though, let's just make sure. Yeah. So, at any rate, let's get going, shall we? Yeah. So, here are 6 quotes from America's founders that help to describe this viewpoint. All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Declaration of Independence, 1776. I think that any kind of Christianity that holds to this underlying principle, or any kind of atheism that holds to this underlying principle, or any kind of Hinduism that holds to it doesn't matter what religion, Islam, or, and in fact, actually, he actually makes the point that, that Islam actually, implemented this stuff very effectively early on in the Arab Golden Age. There have been mostly slave societies, but there have been a few free societies. And we're kind of late stage freedom right now. I don't know if you guys can tell. The control freak's slowly closing in. But it's not over. And by control freaks, I don't mean, obviously I know that people most of the time have good intentions and they are advocating for, this is so slow. They're trying to do good, trying to help their community, county, city, state, country, world, etc. It's just that there are some people that assume that they are God because they're the highest human or in an area or whatever. It just I guess I tend to have kind of all people are created equal under the law type of viewpoint, and that it ought to be that way, because if it isn't that way, that's a lot of the cause for the tension and the problems and the frustrations, and even, when somebody just goes totally AWOL. So, let's keep reading. The natural rights of the colonies are these. First, the right to life. Second, to liberty. Third, to property, together with the right to support and defend them in the best manner they can. The right to support and defend them in the best manner they can. Same with Adam, 1732. Wait, what? The right to life. Okay. Second, to liberty. Okay, I can see that. Third, to property. And then together with the right to support and defend them in the best manner they can. So together with the right to support and defend them in the best manner they can. To support right. Ooh. Holy crap. Jamie Adams is he's a left kids at conception guy. Okay. Alright. At least agree with that. It is strangely absurd to suppose that a million of human beings collected together are not under the same moral laws which bind each of them separately. Thomas Jefferson, 1816. A wise and frugal government which shall restrain men from injuring one another, which shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. This is the sum of good government. That's Thomas Jefferson from 1801. Oh, check this out. My guy. Not a place on earth might be so happy as America. Her situation is removed from all the wrangling world, and she has nothing to do but to trade with them. Thomas Paine, 1776. Then, the great rule of conduct for us in regard to foreign nations is, in extending our commercial relations, to have with them as little political connection as possible. Wow. I agree. But anyway, so this is his view. Once again, I'm just going to read the introduction here. We older generations never had to face what the young are facing. America's wonderful liberty and abundance are slipping away. Well, I guess so. Okay. Free markets are disappearing. Opportunity has diminished, and poverty is growing. Interesting. Wonderful liberty. Independence are slipping away. Free markets are disappearing. Opportunity has diminished, and poverty is growing. Until the 1970s, each generation of Americans expected to do better than any who came before. No more. Statistics confirm that our children are the first Americans ever to have little chance of living as well as their parents. If the drift away from free markets continues, they may not even live as long, and our grandchildren certainly won't. Many free market advocates assume that if Americans can be taught enough economics, they will again become dedicated to free markets. The downhill slide will be reversed. Educational efforts are underway to achieve this, but I'm afraid they won't be enough. Teaching economics is important, but by itself it will not provide support for free markets. And do you know what free markets are? It just means free people. That's it. It's not really that complicated. Alright. A long-ignored key point in American history is that Adam Smith's seminal economic analysis, Wealth of Nations, was not published until 1776. This means economics at the time of the American Revolution was a fledgling science. The exact reasons why free markets are so effective in eliminating poverty and creating abundance were still unclear. Yet America became the most free and prosperous land ever known. It's true. How did people who did not understand economics know to create free markets? They didn't, but they were dedicated to the principles of the old common law. The old common law, you say, what's the old common law? Well, let's keep reading and find out. Shall we? When these elementary legal principles are widely obeyed, free markets spring up automatically. Even if the people have no knowledge of economics whatsoever, even if they cannot read, a free market develops. It's automatic. The world seems to be constructed in such a way that liberty and abundance become widespread and ethical behavior becomes widespread. The two fundamental principles of common law are a part of the fabric of the universe. Disobey them, and life gets worse. Obey, and life gets better. Observe Hong Kong. Hong Kong. More than a half-century until the Red Chinese government took it over in 1997, Hong Kong was a magnet for Red China's impoverished victims of socialism. Socialism? Really? Okay. I thought it was like fascism using socialism, but well, that could be wrong. I don't know when he wrote this one. I think he wrote this one in 2004. It was often cited as a model of free market effectiveness. One of the most prosperous cities in Asia. Yet most in Hong Kong know nothing of free market economics. The city's legal system just happened to be based on British colonial principles. We must revive the American people's dedication to the basic principles of the old common law. In this book, I've summarized these basics into a simple formula of 17 words. These 17 words are a recipe for reversing America's decline and giving them the opportunities we had. Once the people become dedicated to this formula, free markets will be in fact its automatic. Okay, Now, I don't quite necessarily believe that, but because I think that there are other problems, and I think it's actually more systemic than just the, like, yes, that's a thing, but I guess I would assume that that gets better and worse where there's external pressures. Maybe is not a very nice assumption. But I think there's plenty of ethical people. People are trying to be ethical. And people who have a conscience, sometimes can't handle, their conscience, but then they have desires, and they're trying to navigate that in a very corrupt system, and they feel that they have to do things that are unethical in order to get ahead. And that sucks. That really sucks. But I don't think it's true. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's a cause of suicide and stuff. Oh wow. I just saw this on the news. Sure. Right. So just saw something new that says Trump posed tariff threat, says agreement with Mexico will stem flow. Wow. Okay. President Donald Trump said Friday he will not put tariffs on Mexico after all, saying it has agreed to take new measures to stop the illegal flow of migrants into the United States. Mexico in turn has agreed to take strong measures to stem the flow. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in a statement said the joint obligations that the U.S. and Mexico negotiated would benefit both countries. He was like, I'm pleased to implement the diplomatic effort of America as which they find between the U.S. and Mexico. Hotel, scheduled, brilliant guy. Brilliant guy. Have you ever the deal? Whatever, like politics is what it is. I see it more as a systemic problem, not as, I mean, people can be a problem and stuff, but like, oh boy, here we go, Donald Trump's Twitter. Alright, let's read it. You want to read it? Guess who's what? No, nobody else. You don't want to guess who's this? Stem the tide of migration from Mexico to us. Let's see, Phil DeFranco. There we go. Yeah, what does he have to say? Imagine being civil? Oh no. Imagine being so bad. Oh, this is somebody else. He's a perpetually tired dad, husband, producer, host, and CEO of Rogue Rocket. So he's a pretty awesome guy, basically. I don't know who this is. Georgia girl. Living in LA, recovering volleyball, make America think again. Okay, cool. Imagine being... Wait, what? Is she his wife? I'm guessing. Okay, so he says, imagine being so bad at your job, but you think it's accurate to include a food thumbnail for the Franco as an example of far-right videos filled with conspiracy theories, misogyny, and racism. No! What the heck? That's so stupid. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's so stupid. Look, here's the thing. People do say a lot of nonsense online, but you have to... The sad reality. Anyone can steal the idea, but no one can steal the execution. I agree. 100%. Well, wait, what? Wait, what? And then he says, let's test that. I agree. We should test that. I really don't have enough context, so I'm probably saying something. Wait, what are you saying? That's hilarious. Well, it depends though. Someone can see the execution because now we have more technology and stuff. Kid came insinuating. Oh boy, that's so dumb. Oh no, Stefan Molyneux, he's a radical. Let's get the radicals off. The radicals are destroying the country because they're the ones who are in charge. Evil radicals, I can't believe how evil the radicals are. The radicals are supporting a system that is making things harder for the poor. Oh boy, I can't believe how evil the radicals are. The radicals aren't advocating for change that would help people. No, they never do that. No, they're never advocating for change that would potentially help people, as misguided as it may be. No, the radicals are just evil. That's it. Radical is another term for heretic. Ban them all. Of course, I'm joking about that. Alright, let's see what else people have to say. Let's see, I think it's guilty. I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you get a whole bunch of people angry at you? You know? Oh, that's great. He's got his 2 kids and he's taking care of them. Double trouble this morning. These guys were munchkins and he's taking good care of them. I think that's great. Naughty do. It's so cool, isn't it? Yeah. Good times, man. Okay, what I don't understand is he went there and said, cool. Anyway, Casey Neistat. This is really cool. This is a human aspect of it. I love it. I love it. Ultimate limit of human endurance found? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes! Alright, guys. We gotta read this. So the ultimate limit of human endurance has been found, apparently. Alright, now I don't know how I can do some kind of screen record or something like that. I think I might need to use some kind of screen record or something to be able to... I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So, it says here, the ultimate limit of human endurance has been worked out by scientists analyzing the 3,000-mile run, the Tour de France, and other elite events. They showed the cap was 2.5 times the body's resting metabolic rate, or 4,000 calories a day for an average person. Anything higher than that was not sustainable in the long term. Oh, okay. The research by Duke University also showed pregnant women were endurance specialists, living at nearly the limit of what the human body can cope with. Wow. The study started with a race across the USA, in which athletes ran 3,080 miles from California to Washington, D.C. in 100 years. It would take years to beat this, but that's a challenge to play. You know, that's something to... Alright. Competitors were running 6 marathons a week for months, and scientists were investigating the effect on their bodies. Resting with metabolic rate... the calories the body burns through when it is relaxing was recorded before and during the race, and calories burned in the extreme endurance event were recorded. The study in Science Advances showed energy use started off high, but eventually leveled off at 2.5 times the resting metabolic rate. The study found a pattern between the length of the sporting event and energy expenditure. The longer the event, the harder it is to burn through the calories. So people can go far beyond their base metabolic rate while doing a short bout of exercise. It becomes unsustainable in the long term. The study also shows that while running a marathon may be beyond running, it is nowhere near the limit of human endurance. Marathon, just the one, runners use 15.6 times... 15.6 times the resting metabolic rate. Right? Runners use 15.6 times the resting metabolic rate. Marathon understood. And cyclists during the 23 days of Tour de France use 4.9 times the resting metabolic rate. A 95-day Antarctic trekker uses 3.5 times the resting metabolic rate. You can do really intense stuff for a couple of days if you want to last longer than you have to dial it back. Every data point for every event is all mapped onto this beautifully crisp barrier of human endurance. Nobody we know of has ever pushed through it. Okay. Okay. Alright. Yeah. During pregnancy, the woman's energy use peaks at 2.2 times the resting metabolic rate, the study showed. Right? Yeah. Cool. Man. We gotta play as tough as we can, guys. Otherwise, what are we doing? How long is this silly thing? I wonder if I could, if there's anything that I could change with this to make it so that, yeah, anyway. Oh, look at this. I love it. Let's go. So the researchers argued the 2.5 figure may be down to the human digestive system rather than anything to do with the heart, lungs, and muscles. They found the body cannot digest, absorb, and process enough calories and nutrients to sustain a higher level of energy use. They found the body cannot digest, absorb, and process enough calories and nutrients to sustain a higher level of energy use. Interesting. The body can use up its own resources, burning through fat and muscle mass, which can be recovered afterwards in shorter events. In extreme events, at the limits of human exhaustion, the body has to balance its energy use, the researchers argue. Dr. Podser said the findings could eventually help athletes. In the Tour de France, no one really sailing is allowed to do 13 floats smartly. Frequently, we're talking about enduring for days or weeks or months, so it is most applicable to training regimens and thinking whether they fit with the long-term metabolic limits of the body. Interesting. Can exercise reverse the aging process? While many in their 80s and 90s may be studying to take it easy, 85-year-old track star Irene O'Bara. Who is this? Irene O'Bara. Hello. Oh, come on. Where's she from? Dude, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Maximize that. Let's go. Okay, let's hear this one. Play it. Come on.
On your marks, today I'll think about it.
Yeah. We have so much farther that we can go as a human race, you know? And that gets me pumped up. I'm not going to deny it. That pumps me up, you know? Alright, let's see what we got. Live control room. Whoa, 32 minutes. Okay, so I made it to the end of this feed. Guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Nobody joined this, so apparently too boring. Somebody could say, make a suggestion. Only one. Just kidding. I'll take as many suggestions are nice. I'd rather hear criticisms. You know, I'd rather hear people's honest opinions. So, just give me your honest opinions in the comments, what you thought about this kind of discombobulated thing. I didn't end up finishing this, so I am going to finish this real quick. We must survive the American people's dedication. Hold on. So the first, a quote from Abraham Lincoln. At what point shall we expect the approach of danger? By what means shall we fortify against it? Shall we expect some transatlantic military giant to step the ocean and crush us at a blow? Never. All the armies of Europe, Asia, and Africa combined, with all the treasure of the earth, are unaccepted in their military chest with Bonaparte for a commander. Compelled by force, take a drink from the Ohio, and make a track on the Blue Ridge in a trial of 1,000 years. At what point then is the approach of danger to be expected? I answer, if it ever reaches us, it must spring up amongst us. It cannot come from abroad. If destruction be our lot, we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we must live through all time or die by suicide. Abraham Lincoln. That is an epic quote. And that's true, and that's what I'm going to leave you with. Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to leave you with. I feel like that's even better than the other one. So, talk to you later, and leave your opinion. Alright, bye.